Hello again, everyone. Big Deanna Wilson here, and this week on In Ohio Country Today, we have more feature stories from the 2026 Ohio Pork Congress. Some great news and information this week in Ohio Country Today.
When it's time to prep your feed, Kuhn mixers deliver consistent, thorough results every time. Built for efficiency and designed to reduce feed cost, Kuhn mixers help you get the most out of every ration. With decades of innovation focused on your feed, Kuhn stands above the rest. Stop by your local Apple Farm Service today or view our inventory online at applefarmservice.com/Kuhn.
Your outdoor fun starts today at Dad's Toy Shop in downtown Wapakoneta. Whether you're an enthusiastic RC hobbyist or searching for a great family gift, we have the best remote control land, air, and watercraft with parts and service you can depend on. Our experienced team and our great wall of parts will keep you cruising all year long with batteries and chargers too. Your outdoor fun starts today at Dad's Toy Shop in downtown Wapakoneta, your one-stop shop for all your hobby needs. Attention farmers, Alan Davis from Alan Davis Insurance Agency reminds you that March 15th is the deadline for multi-peril crop insurance coverage for spring crops. You can make changes, add coverages, add crops, add counties, increase your levels of coverage, but you need to call Alan today and ask about multi-policy discounts and total farm protection. 419-738-7447. That's 419-738-7447.
Allen Township in Hancock County is your next land auction opportunity. From your area leader in land auctions, Dye Real Estate and Land Company. 63 plus acres of versatile land with ag and development opportunities with high quality soils and a great location. Join us February 12th at 6 p.m. at the Hancock County Fairgrounds in Findlay, Ohio. Online bidding is also available from your area leader in land auctions, Dye Real Estate and Land Company. For more information on this and other upcoming auctions, go to dyerealestate.com.
Rodock Leasing Sales and Service is your place for Wilson Livestock Trailers. Wilson builds reliable, lightweight, and corrosion-resistant aluminum livestock trailers. Wilson is known for their attention to animal and operator safety, as well as the best in biosecurity. Wilson delivers your best value and your lowest cost of operation. Rodock is your home for Wilson Livestock Trailers. Call Rodock Leasing Sales and Service today. Learn more at rodock.com. Welcome back to In Ohio Country Today, and joining me now is Pat Horde. Pat is a fifth-generation farmer from Crawford County. I guess the biggest name from Crawford County I could remember is Jack Fisher, right?
Absolutely, yeah. Jack graduated from Colonel Crawford, which is was our old rival in high school. But I graduated from Winford High School, so yeah. So it's all good though. Yep, Jack, great guy.
Well, what's great, too, is Crawford County known for people who have the ability and the willingness to support the ag industry, and the Horde family is no different. Before we get to some of the recognition that the family is receiving today here at the Ohio Pork Congress, let's talk a little bit about that fifth-generation farm.
Yeah, no, we are excited to have the next generation back in the business and in the farm, and so we have, our family is our original farm was that we've operated for more than 100 years, since 1905, and been in that area from my great-grandfather to my grandfather to my dad, and now my son back and my daughter. So I have a son and daughter, Phil and Colleen. So we're excited to have them back. So.
It takes a lot of intestinal fortitude to be a pig farmer here in Ohio. You've seen the roller coaster after 5 generations of everything that's happened in this industry. So let's talk about that sustainability, what you guys are doing to remain profitable and to remain successful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it comes down to, as I think about it, it's really about grit. You have to have that, and as you mentioned, intestinal fortitude. To say, well, things aren't as we would like them to be, but we're going to keep digging and say, well, we've got an opportunity to get better, and how do we approach that? And so that I think that's was instilled in me and by my family, and kind of watched, my grandfather and my dad saying, hey, we've got some sickness on the farm, so we're going to go work on it. We're going to do everything we can to fix it, and then we're going to go do something else. And then we're going to come back this evening, and we're going to work on it again. And you kind of learn to work through that process of understanding and knowing that if you put I always think like good decisions are like, compounding interest. You have the ability to, you make those things, and not that everything goes right, but there's ups and downs. But just keep digging and relying on your faith and those things. So so that's kind of how we've looked at it.
Drive and dedication is the way I would describe individuals such as yourself that are not only working on the farm, but taking that message off the farm and to the masses. Let's talk about your involvement with the Ohio Pork Producers and, of course, your work with the National Pork Producers Council.
Yep. Yeah, I'm fortunate to be able to be a part of the Ohio Pork Producers Board currently, and as well as the National Pork Producers, and we have. I'm currently the vice president of National Pork Producers Council, and so it's been interesting. As I've told people, I was at times have been tempted to be a part of it when my children were young, but I wanted to be at home and be more focused there, but we've been fortunate. I've been fortunate to be married to my wife Janelle for 37 years, and it's been an awesome ride. And I'm blessed to have 4 children, and they're all out of the house now, and so I feel like the pork industry has given back to me and as my career over the last several decades, and so I feel like it's we all have an opportunity and an obligation and an to be to give back, and so I feel like this is my time. So
Well, Pat, nobody can do it without having the support at home. So that's wonderful that you can mention that and, talk about the family and how supportive they are, but also what you're doing to support the industry. So when we look at what's happening on the national forefront, whether it's trade, whether it's the health of our animals, the quality of the product, what are some of the things that you're working for on the National Pork Producers Council?
Yeah, I think as most think about, National Pork Producers Council is really a leader in the what I would say is freedom to operate. So we really advocate in anything that would prevent that from happening. So that's maybe as well as trade. So trade is a big one, as you mentioned. So we are definitely focused on that. That's with 30% of the product being exported. It's incredibly important. I think the thing that also, as you think about is like a national health strategy. One is we're working on today, not only foreign animal diseases, which are incredibly important, but we have domestic diseases today, and that are causing us a lot of challenges. And viruses keep innovating, and they're very quick to figure out what we're doing, and to get. And so we're working on a national health strategy as well. And so really just thinking about like what would benefit pork producers, and how do we take that and turn it into a national strategy. So that's what we're doing. That's job one for us as pork producers, to produce a safe, nutritious product that people can feel good about consuming. They can feel confident that they have the trust in the product, and there's nothing more important than that, really. Yeah, there's a lot of hard work every day that goes on, and behind the scenes, raising bacon and sausage and ham and all the things that we enjoy, and some people have no idea the processes and everything that goes into. I have friends of mine that aren't in the pork industry, and that we tell a little bit about everything that we do every day, and they're like, I had no idea when that bacon shows up, all the stuff that you guys do to get it there. So which makes you feel good that they appreciate that. So.
Well, let's talk a little bit about all the good work that your family has done and why you're being celebrated today as far as the Excellence Award. Your family has done a lot to maintain that product that you talked about, your stewardship, your quest for environmental issues, and being not only healthy in the barn, but outside of the barn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you bet. Yeah, we look at it. I think, of course, farmers are the ultimate, I would say, recyclers. I mean, I've just grown up with that. We raise pigs, we raise corn, we feed the pigs the corn, and then we have highly valuable fertilizer that's produced in the form of manure, and that gets applied on the cornfield, and just that cycle. And I think sometimes people, in the new kind of buzzwords of sustainability and those kind of things, I think is just something that's top of mind for us. It's just, and actually sometimes we tend to not think about talking about it because it's really just ingrained in what we do every day. And so sometimes it's, it's like, oh, you find that interesting? It's like, well, yeah, well, okay, well, that's just what we do. And so I think it's really about telling that story and being able to be a part of it. It's from whether that's, we've hosted, I can't number the ag in the classroom, with things. And I think you have that whole thing of we've got a great team, and I love watching our young people get on in a camera and present to an ag class, and they post that up on YouTube, and just lots of different things like that, that we say it's just part of promoting our product and helping people understand what we do every day.
Well, Pat, I know you're a humble guy, and I know your family has worked hard to sustain that business and to be an active part in this industry, both not only in Crawford County or statewide, but now nationally. So we're proud of you. We're proud of what you do to get that message out there. And congratulations once again on this recognition.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, we're humbled and appreciative. So,
Pat Hord from Crawford County has been our guest. We'll be back with more in Ohio Country today, right after this.
Attention farmers, Alan Davis from Alan Davis Insurance Agency reminds you that March 15th is the deadline for multi-peril crop insurance coverage for spring crops. You can make changes, add coverages, add crops, add counties, increase your levels of coverage, but you need to call Alan today and ask about multi-policy discounts and total farm protection. 419-738-7447. That's 419-738-7447. Closed captioning paid for in part by the following.
Start your planting season by adding 90-plus acres of great farmland in Auglaize Township in Allen County. From your area leader in land auctions, Dye Real Estate and Land Company. 90-plus acres offered in 2 tracts. Join us February 19th, 6 p.m. at the Howard Johnson Inn in Lima, Ohio. Online bidding is also available. From your area leader in land auctions, Dye Real Estate and Land Company. For more information on this and other upcoming auctions, go to dyerealestate.com. Meyer formula mixers are built for speed, accuracy, and efficiency. With fast processing times, low load heights, and precision unloading, Meyer helps you get more out of every load. Don't waste feed with unreliable mixers. Meyer has been innovating feed mixing for over 70 years. When you need consistent results, load after load, trust Meyer Mixers from Apple Farm Service. Stop in today or view our inventory at applefarmservice.com/Meyer.
Welcome back to In Ohio Country today, and we're here at the Wapakoneta High School for one of our annual risk management seminars here presented by Allen Davis Insurance and State Bank. With me today is Lucy Green with SC Stone to talk a little bit about what's on people's mind. But before we get there, tell us a little about yourself and your ag background, Lucy.
Thank you, Alan. I grew up in the Northwest Ohio area, farming corn and soybeans with my family. Went to Ohio State and majored in agribusiness and applied economics and agricultural communication, but always knew my passion lied back home on the farm in the grain industry. So after I graduated from college, moved out to South Dakota and was working as an originator out there for a while before moving home and finding my current role with StoneX, where we work with livestock producers, farmers, and elevators to hedge commodities and grains, livestock, and oil seeds. And essentially just do a lot of the risk management practices to kind of help alleviate some of that market risk. So I get to talk to farmers and elevator merchandisers every single day about what's going on in the markets.
Well, speaking of what's going on in the markets, I'm sure the number one question, what's on everybody's mind is, when do I sell my grain?
That is absolutely the question we've been getting, especially with the pricing action we've seen recently here post-January report. The markets have now nearly fully recovered from that very bearish report, and it's certainly time to be getting offers out there, whether it's old crop or new crop. The market action has been pretty favorable, so we're recommending that, especially for new crop, farmers get pricing target orders out there to at what price they want to see, whether that's $4.25 corn or $10.50 or higher beans.
Yeah, I've had conversations with a lot of producers also because, obviously we're in a drought where we're at, right? Our soil moisture is way depleted. And so, you're looking at price and drought and how do we manage our risk. And, you say, as I tell them, our problem is a lot of production in this country.
Yes, and while our area in Ohio and across the entire state may have suffered some production issues this year, the rest of the country had a phenomenal production, whether that be the I states, which we normally look at, Illinois, Indiana, and Iowa, or some of those more fringe areas like Minnesota and North Dakota having massive crops this year. It certainly kind of counteracts the loss of production we here in Ohio felt, and it's important not to experience that backyarditis where you say, I didn't have a crop, so it's not out there, because it is. Yes, so I mentioned earlier that it seems like a great time to be putting some target offers out on your new and old crop production, and part of that is because production is going to be coming online in Brazil. Harvest is just starting now, and when those of us at StoneX talk to our counterparts in Brazil, all we hear about the crop is it's phenomenal. There doesn't seem to be any major production issues that they're concerned about. And not only are they expanding acres, but it's looking to be a record crop. So the Louis Dreyfus crush plant opening in Upper Sandusky it won't necessarily help your futures prices, but it will likely impact the local basis or the price that the crush plant or elevator is willing to pay to buy the beans off of the farm, which ultimately will help farmers here in Ohio. And that's not the only crush plant coming online across the country. There's others throughout the nation that are coming online as we see increased crush demand from some of these biofuel mandates such as 45Z legislation.
Lucy, people are always asking me, what is one way that you can kind of mitigate your risk besides maybe buying crop insurance? I tell them, look, you really need to work with an advisor on marketing your grain unless you're an expert at it.
Even I need to work with an expert. It is incredibly important to find a trusted advisor to discuss your grain marketing plan, someone to hold you accountable to selling those bushels so you don't have 3-year-old corn in the bin at home. Whether that's the originator at your local elevator or someone like myself at StoneX, it's important to have someone that you can kind of bounce ideas off of and discuss those price targets to decide if they're reasonable or not.
Well, Lucy, if somebody wanted to find out more about what you do at StoneX or how you could help them, where can they go?
Certainly look us up online. Our website's pretty easy to find, or give us a call at the office, 419-373-6341.
And for all your risk management needs, give us a call at our office or look us up on the web, at AlanDavisInsurance.com. We'll be back with more right after this.
Attention farmers, Alan Davis from Alan Davis Insurance Agency reminds you that March 15th is the deadline for multi-peril crop insurance coverage for spring crops. You can make changes, add coverages, add crops, add counties, increase your levels of coverage, but you need to call Alan today and ask about multi-policy discounts and total farm protection. 419-738-7447. That's 419-738-7447. The SureTrack heavy-duty low-profile dump trailer is engineered for professionals who demand the highest level of strength, versatility, and efficiency. And Rodock Leasing Sales and Service is your place for your next SureTrack dump trailer. Available in multiple configurations, tailored to fit your specific needs, and built for heavy-duty tasks. This trailer delivers top-tier performance, helping you get the job done right every time. Call Rodock Leasing Sales and Service today, your source for SureTrack dump trailers. Learn more at Rodock.com.
Welcome back to In Ohio Country today, and joining me once again is Nathan Schrader. And Nathan, you're familiar with our audience, and obviously it's nice to have you back on the program.
It's hard to believe it's been a whole year already, but here we are at the 2026 Ohio Pork Congress, and I just walked through the trade show a little bit ago, but boy, what a lot of people, a lot of energy, and feels good to get everybody together.
Isn't that what it's really all about when it comes to this organization, is making sure there are good communications? And having an event like this is really important because it really does bring people together and it energizes them, to use your word.
Oh, it does. And the availability to network out there, to see the friends that you haven't seen in a long time, it's just a great opportunity to get everybody together.
And when we talk about communication, we talk about this industry, it's important to know what the neighbor's doing, what everybody's doing across the state, but also what's happening on a national basis. So maybe let's talk a little bit about what is happening nationally with this organization and how they fit into the big picture when it comes to pork producers here in the United States.
So some of the biggest news lately, I like to eat. Everybody likes to eat, but the food pyramid, the food pyramid's flipped. It's a common sense protein on top guidelines now, and we're very excited about that opportunity coming and to be able to showcase our proteins, especially in schools coming up.
And one of the things, too, that we always like to talk about is diversity in the product as well.
We have, and we're gaining more diversity in our products from just the different cuts, but just fresh ground pork, substitute that for everything that you use anything else in. You go to your supermarkets, check out the spreads between price points on beef and pork, and it's a no-brainer.
We talk about trade, obviously we're talking about politics. So how important it is to have that voice in Washington, let alone the state capital here in Ohio.
So, yeah, we do visit our capital, and we do visit the national, Washington, D.C., but boy, NPPC, they do such a great job to advocate for all of us here, and very proud to be part of that organization.
And we want to make sure that all the pork producers here in the Buckeye State are a part of this organization to help stretch that voice as far as we can go, right?
Grassroots is everything. Don't be afraid to call your representatives, your senators, call them. Tell them what your thoughts are. They do remember that when Mr. Joe Farmer calls, and they do remember opportunities like that. So don't hesitate to call.
We were really blessed to be able to have the opportunity through our connection with Mike King to be able to feature your family farm on our TV show, our podcast, and our YouTube channel. And let's talk about how important that is, the family farm today, whether it's pork producers or people raising other livestock or row crop farmers for that matter, keeping the business in the family and keeping it growing and sustainable and profitable is what it's all about.
You speak of profits, we've all, on the row crop side, we've experienced some pretty tough years here. On the hog side, we finally seen some margins coming back, so that gives you some happiness coming in the future, and hopefully some grain markets coming around. But yeah, to keep it sustainable and profitable for the next generation to come in, and that's everybody's goal. So.
And making sure that next generation is educated enough to take it over as well. There have been a lot of changes in this industry, especially since we've been on the air for the last 20 years and my 43 years in broadcasting and watching the roller coaster of the pork industry here in the Buckeye State. But that technology, the importance of technology on the farm and how it's changed to improve the product that we consume.
Yeah, producer education is one of the key parts that Ohio stands behind, and working with the National Pork Board on producer education is just key to every pork farmer out there.
And that younger demographic, getting them motivated and getting them educated, it seems like there's a really good connection between our educational institutions here in Ohio, especially Ohio State University or Central State University, when it comes to educating our youth and getting them motivated for that next chapter in their lives to continue on the family farm.
And that is key. How do we get that next generation excited about being part of our pork producing family? And I feel like education and just having opportunities available for them, and they'll get excited.
Nathan, if people want more information, what's the website that they can go to as well?
Check out ohioporkcongress.org and ohiopork.com.
Thanks once again for joining us.
You betcha. Thank you, Dan.
We'll be back with more in Ohio Country today, right after this.
From generation to generation, farmers do their best to protect their land, livestock, and farm operations. But they can't do it alone. Salina Insurance Group has partnered with local ag professionals to do just that, offering the peace of mind needed to run a successful operation. Salina's products and coverages come from our first-hand experience and relationships with local agents. For total farm protection, come experience the Salina difference. Learn more at salinainsurance.com.
Hey, that's going to do it for this week's edition of In Ohio Country Today. For more information, as always, check us out on the web at inohiocountry.com. You'll have a link to our Facebook page, our website, our YouTube channel, our radio ag reports on iHeartMedia, live market features, and so much more at inohiocountry.com. Have a good day, everybody.